slave movies depicting our people as slaves get on my nerves. I can't stand them. They irritate me. I mean, they irritate me to a level of dang near anxiety. My mind thinks about how many people are watching. And before you say, no, more, we gotta always, we can't never forget what they did to us. The Jews, they don't forget about what happened in the Holocaust, so we don't forget. It's not the point. You can't forget slavery. How you gonna forget something that's constantly in your face every day, all day long? Still not a free people. And I kept trying to figure out why when I see these movies, they give me such an anxiety. And I figured it out. I figured out the difference between when they show, for instance, like a tragedy of the Holocaust and of the Jewish people that lived in Europe, and why it bothers me about the Israelites who were enslaved, Israel enslaved in the Americas and in Europe. And here's why. Because when the European Jewish movies and Holocaust movies are being made, one of the things that they make sure that they always tell you that who the people were before they were persecuted. They always will show movies about, if they have movies and films, they will say, these are the people of God. These are the people who keep the commandments, the Old Testament. They honor the Shabbat. They were good people in business, and they worked hard, and they became very, very prosperous. And then the evil man, you know, and the armies of Europe and Germany and Hitler and all that, put them through the terrible ordeal of the Holocaust. So then immediately your mind and your heart is like, that's jacked up. Like, man. And what a nation had to go through, and whatever you feel about it, either or, that's just how they present it. But when it comes to us, they don't present it like that. Your history to them starts with you being a slave. And even with all this stuff out, it just as though like that's your roots, that's where it starts. So they never say, well, these are the true Israelites. These are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is Israel. These are the 12 tribes. They are the people of the Bible. They're the people of the book, the descendants. And they show you the verses to tell you how then they were, as the children of Israel, because of the scriptures, the Europeans then came and captured Israel and enslaved them. See, it's a big difference. And one of the problems with these movies is it keeps perpetuating the fact that they picked up a people, or they picked up people who were no people at all. They picked up people who were no nation. They picked up a people who had no identity. They picked up a people who were just out making a drum. And so therefore in the movies, because they don't take you to a nation and say, this is the nation that went into captivity, it perpetuates the fact that you're not a nation, you're just black. And that's the difference between when you see any other race movie put out where there's any type of slavery, they're always going to say, and the whoever they were were then enslaved in this area. I don't care what the movie is. All the movies that talk about European slavery will always say whoever the people were that were enslaved, they would say, and the nation of, and then they would say whoever they were, especially if they were a European nation, they would say, and they enslaved the Scottish. They enslaved the, you know, whoever, the Celts or whoever. They enslaved them. But when it came to us, they said, no, we just picked up blacks. We just picked up black people who didn't have a nation or culture, nationality. And then it's just perpetuated. And now, look what they're saying. There is no outcry against the Hebrews. There's no outcry for Israel. The only outcry is for black, which is nothing. Black is nothing. And so every time I watch these movies and they don't tell the truth, they all are liars. And don't think they don't know it. They know it. Oh my goodness, they know. It's not going to tell you. So I hate those movies with a passion. And I hate all the movies that they make that show us in a subservient, step and fetch it role, and don't tell you that the real kings and the real kings in the movie are the kings and queens and princesses that were captured from Israel. The Israelite kings and queens, the royal family of Yah was put into captivity, into the under the hands of those people who were, you know, under the power of Hasatan. Because that's what happened. So that's what I wanted to put out today. Just what you think about that. Stop putting that stuff in your head. It's not truth. What they're showing you is not the truth. It's askew. It's not true. They don't start off. They don't tell you what particular nation was enslaved. But in every other, they will. So I'm gonna tell you, Israel was enslaved and being held in captivity this day. And read the scripture. When Yah orders the return of Hamashiach, he will be setting the captives free. Who is his captives? Israel. Be in captivity or still in the land of their captors. I got more to say. Shalom.